Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here, playing some more Pathfinder Adventures. It's time to start the second adventure, The Skin Saw Murders. This one features one, maybe two scenarios that are, I think, somewhat infamous in the Pathfinder Adventure card game canon, and the Undead Uprising is one of them, featuring Kaisar Luzarin, one of the most hated villains of all time. But before we get to that, let's talk about how it's different on Legendary difficulty versus regular. In the regular version of the game, when you defeat a zombie minion henchman, it's shuffled into another open location, which is actually a positive because then it increases how many henchmen are in a given location, making it more likely, well, I should say increasingly more likely as the scenario goes on, that you will find the henchman and get an opportunity to close the location. Note that in this game, in this scenario, there are, well, in addition to the villain, 3 other non-zombie minion henchmen, so you have to be playing with more than 2 players in order to even have a zombie minion henchman at all. But with 6 players, of course, we're going to have the maximum of 4. Now, on Legendary and Heroic, that positive is taken away, so zombie minion henchmen do go away after being defeated. They do not go into another location. On top of that, their difficulty is increased the more of them that have been killed, which is a little bit deceptive because while there are technically only 4 of them in the location, there are some effects that might cause you to have to fight additional zombie minion henchmen. Other than that, the main thing here is this, colorful cast of ragtag henchmen, and of course, a really awful villain. So let's go ahead and do a preview. This is not one that I will be skipping because we definitely want to talk about the villain and how that affects the strategy. So here, let's see what we got. Bane's increased by 3 and an additional monster. These are pretty awful. Really just the best ones, I think, are... At this point, I would like to see like the ones where if you acquire something, you bury a card. The one where if you fail to defeat a barrier, you have a 1 in 4 chance of taking damage. The one where you have to bury cards if you discard more than 1 as damage. Even something like having there be fewer blessings, I'd be okay with, but having harder Bane checks and an additional monster to deal with is pretty irritating. So this is going to be tough. This could very well be my first failure. Now let's take a look at Kaisarlu. So the deal with this guy is that, first of all, everybody at the location has to encounter a zombie minion, including the person who finds the villain. And the more that you gang up, the more zombie minions have to be fought. And that has a very interesting intersection with the legendary rules for this scenario, legendary/heroic rules, which is that, of course, these are going to be pretty difficult because you've probably killed some other ones up to that point, and each one that you kill makes the one harder for the other people who have to fight one if you are doubled up at that location and more than one person is fighting one. On top of that, you roll a 1d6 after defeating him. Actually, I guess it's not after defeating him. Yeah, it's just whether you succeed or fail. Hopefully you're succeeding because he is the villain. There's a 1 in 3 chance that you have to start the check over and nothing that you played on the previous check affects the new check. So this villain is totally immune to the whole play all your blessings and try to overkill him like crazy thing that we like to do at the end of the scenario because, of course, there's a 1 in 3 chance that that will cause you to lose horribly. So definitely... I'm going to say this is this is my least favorite villain in the whole game. Not just in the context of when he appears, but just in the entire game. Obviously, if he were an adventure deck 6, these checks would be higher. But numbers aside, I don't think there's a single villain that I am more annoyed by than this guy, because there's just nothing you can do. In theory, you could just lose the scenario. No matter how many times you succeed, there's like a 1 in 27 chance that this will happen 3 times in a row, and that's not impossible. I'm sure it has happened to some gaming groups. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. Then we got our old friend Pidget Turgleson. So this is actually not a particularly interesting henchman. It's more or less generic. It's got some weird stuff. It's not that big of a deal. I guess if the top card is Blessing of the Gods, she's harder by 3, or it's harder by 3. But with the adventure card game in digital form, with all those wacky blessings in the box from treasure chests, this is very unlikely to happen. So in the physical game, this is actually more of a big deal. Then we got Dr. Hay. This is one of my favorite henchmen of all time. I think it's so nifty. So this guy's a total puss. He can't fight. So basically what happens is instead of fighting him, you fight the next Bane, either a monster or a barrier in the location. And he's only defeated if the location has no monsters in it. So actually that interacts pretty annoyingly with the wild card, which adds an extra monster to each location. So wherever Dr. Habe is, you're going to have to work just that much harder to get him out of the way. Then we got our old friend Graced. This one is not particularly fancy, though I do like the artwork. And then, of course, these zombie minion henchmen, which are not particularly interesting, but they do get harder in this scenario with each one that has been defeated, thanks to the unique heroic/legendary rules. Okay, so let's take a look at our layout. This is a tough layout. There's a lot of stuff that's jutting out, so we want to make sure that we take care of it as quickly as possible. Well, this is actually not that big of a deal, because Ezrin and Seoni don't particularly mind being at the old light. So that's actually a pretty easy decision to make. Then who goes here? Wisdom or Perception 7? So this can really be anyone, actually. Start of your turn, attempt a Wisdom 6, draw a card from your discard pile. Okay, so we definitely want someone who can make a Wisdom 6 check, and the person most likely to do that is actually Sela. Now, to make this, she's going to have to flip a card from her deck, but there's a chance that that card won't be put in the discard because blessings get recycled, and then she gets a card back from her discard. So she's actually kind of value neutral on this. She can always put back into her hand the card that she flipped. Although, of course, I guess she could fail the check anyway. But I think that's still the best person to put here. Here we have add 2 to checks with a slashing trait. I'm not sure how many slashing weapons I have. Dexterity Acrobatics 8, that's actually kind of annoying. I might leave this place alone. Let's see, what else do we have? The General Store is a good place. Wisdom or Divine 6. Okay, well, if the Paladin's there, then I guess my Cleric should go there. The General Store and the Village House are both pretty nice locations. I don't want Amiri doing the Dexterity or Acrobatics 8. I don't want her doing an Intelligence or Knowledge 6 either. Yeah, Amiri's got no great place to go. I guess we'll put her at the General Store, which does have a couple of monsters in it. And then Harsk will go to the Village House. This has a bunch of allies, and he generally sucks at picking them up, but this one has a really nice property, which is that when you encounter an ally, you can recharge a card to automatically get him. Okay, so I guess we'll do it like this. And I guess my order is fine. God, I really hate those. There's like the game when it first came out, and then there were some new wild cards that were added afterwards. And I gotta say, the new ones are all so annoying. The extra monster in a location, the extra barrier in a location, the hand size reduction, those are just all a big pain. I guess I do like the one where every time you fight a monster, you have to fight a bandit henchman, or a random person fights a bandit henchman. I think that one's like the only one that's really good. I shouldn't have started here. I should have moved here. That was a mistake. So I lose a troubadour for no reason. Well, I guess I get the troubadour back. Oh, pro plays all day. I get an extra card in my hand. Check that out, bitches. Yeah. Mistake? No. More like Miss Great. Because she's great and a miss. I like a misses. Okay, here's a burglar. This is actually kind of annoying because I don't want to discard a weapon or an item. I don't want to discard my thief. Actually, I don't really care that much about discarding thieves' tools, and I don't have any weapons. And this guy isn't even very useful because there's no barriers here, so I don't actually care that much. I'm gonna just let this go. Okay, well, I didn't let it go. That's fine. So I guess we're going to discard a troubadour then to explore again. Toughness is Constitution, not that great. I'll just let that go. And I suppose I am going to recharge Pallegina to heal up. And I'm going to spend a blessing to go again because I want to draw some cards so that I can get to my weapons. Traitor. Well, I don't actually mind losing that burglar because he was really useless here. I was going to... God darn it. This bug is kind of a pain. I guess I get lots of free healing, but I don't particularly enjoy the fact that I'm continually cheating. Okay, I don't need to use this potion because I'm in a location where I can actually recharge cards to just get allies automatically. Why is it a roll success at 27? Is it really that bad? Jeez, I guess it's just that bad. Okay, well, we're going to recharge this because it matches the top. Oh, yeah, all Banes are harder by 3. Nah. Okay. I guess we'll recharge Poog here for a little bit of help. 92. All right, that's fine. And then I guess we'll try Pallegina again. There's no damage in this scenario, so I am actually going to just pitch this chainmail. Oh, good lord. That guy. The War Chanter, everybody's most hated thing. I'm actually going to discard both of these cards because I don't need Thieves' Tools here. And I've got a Cure in my deck. I can get the Thieves' Tools back. I really want to get some weapons. Of course, the next monster there isn't able to be killed by weapons, but whatever. Okay, what is this blessing? Got Callistria. I think some people might actually have... I mean, I know I've got a Callistria. There's one, so that is rechargeable at the moment. I gotta remember that. Alright, Falling Bell. I kind of wish... Why can't I... Oh, right, because God damn it, this is so annoying. This is normally a 10, so I could use Thieves' Tools to destroy it, but because Banes are harder by 3, it goes to 13, and I can't use the Thieves' Tools. This is Wisdom, and it makes the thing easier by 4. What is this? Fortify Perception check? If I do that, I can't use the Sage. No, I think I might as well just fail this check. Oh, man, if I had recharged the Sage, I actually would have made it. Well, okay. Actually, do I even care about this? Oh, the card is banished. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to spend blessings on this. It's banished afterwards, so I'll just let this go. Now, if I roll a 1 or a 2, I can block it all with the amulet. If I roll a 3, I need a little bit of help. And I suppose what I'm going to do is do the amulet, obviously, and get rid of these Thieves' Tools, because these Thieves' Tools are not that useful now. Since all barriers are harder by 3, that makes it less likely that the Thieves' Tools will actually work. So that's actually kind of annoying. But at least it's gone. I will keep the Sage for closing the location, so I'm going to discard this Spyglass to see what's happening. Okay, this is kind of interesting. What do we got here? 2 to recharge a spell, and it's a reveal. Maybe I'll keep that. And then Toughness, I can maybe get as well. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and, let's see. I'm gonna actually discard this. God, I hate to discard the Sage because it's good at closing the location. Alright. I'm gonna let it go. We'll save the Sage for later. Okay, got Strength. Maybe I'll try to remember to use it. She's at the prison. She's also got her Stride. She does not have a, she doesn't have any, combat spells here. Well, I guess we're going to use our thing. In this scenario, we don't really need the damage blocking, so I'm going to boldly get rid of it. Harsk will shoot his Troubadour, I guess. Okay, I would like to keep one of these Troubadours to help close the location, but the other one I should really use to explore again. This thing is whatever, but I guess I might as well get slightly better odds to pick it up. Oh, wait, why is it harder by 2? Is there something that makes things harder by 2? Check difficulty +1? Oh, because of the bunyip, right. But why was it harder by 2? That was only 1. Oh, wait, I did not know this. When you encounter a monster, oh god, there's that bug where things don't scroll when you're looking at the scenario. When you encounter a monster with the undead trait, each character location must summon. Oh, so that's more zombie minions. It's gonna make things even harder. All right, I don't know why that was harder by 2 rather than just by 1, but we'll just stop there. Okay, she still doesn't have any combat spells. Great. All right, Potion of Deafness is actually a pretty darn good one. That's what the problem with these potions is they're too narrow. But if you can do Acrobatics or Diplomacy, that widens the reach. Plus, Acrobatics and Diplomacy both come up a lot. Still, though, Intelligence is not a very good skill for Amiri, so unfortunately, that's just gonna have to go. I'll explore again with a blessing. There's a zombie minion. Perfect. All right. Well, let's go ahead and reveal the spike chain. Harsk is kind of running out of things to shoot. Do I bury this armor? Sure, I'll bury this armor to help myself. And I'm going to have to save this Blessing of the Gods to banish to close the location. I will go ahead and shoot away this Amulet of Life. Just to make sure nothing funky happens. It didn't matter, but better safe than sorry. Oh, God. Oh, my God. This is so annoying. I forgot about this. I think the first one is the one that determines whether I can close the location, but I can't fail this, because if I fail this, then I end up having to discard my cards, and I have no cards left to banish to close the location. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 82% roll, and the idea is that with the spike chain, if I fail, I can discard it to reroll. So I've got a very good chance of getting at least, oh god, that was close, getting it at least one of those times, then I'm still banishing the blessing to close the location. Okay, well, that was pretty good. So we closed one location in the first round. And we're going to get a free item here. Hopefully it's a good one. Wouldn't mind seeing my holy candle come back. Nope, it's garbage. This is, yeah, it's total garbage. But we get another Explore, and it's an improved Sage's Journal. Ooh, it's still probably not good enough. But I would have rather had that than this Cloak of Garbage Donkeys. Ah, yeah, it's terrible. I guess we'll save that and rage with it. Maybe you could argue that that's foolish, because it's better to get through the whole deck than to save that thing just for raging purposes, but Now, where do I want to go? I still don't want to close this location. Dexterity or acrobatics? Oh, if I'd had that potion, I could actually have, you know, done something. But who is gonna close this thing? I guess Harsk, when he's done with the village house, has to close it. You know, we've got dexterity blessings. Let's just have her go here. I don't need to pull anyone in. Oh, I should have. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I should have pulled Sela in so she doesn't have to make that check at the beginning of her turn. Ah, man, that was foolish. All right. Let's go ahead and get some stuff. Ah, did it the wrong order. All right, so now the sage is there at the top of my deck. I would have gotten the Orb of Fire because it's a magic item. Oh, I actually still... Oh, it's letting me do it again. That's a bug that it's for some reason letting me do it twice. Well, I can correct my mistake. Yeah, let's do it. Let's move fast. Let's go here. Let's pull Sela in. And then that way Sela can scout that location and not have to do the check at her location that she's working on. Alright, picked up a blessing. Good, and this is a good one. It's a wisdom blessing. In this particular scenario, it's not super helpful. I'm going to spend it to go again. Spectre is a nice find because I've got my cleric-y bonus. I am just going to take this opportunity to get rid of this dog slicer because I don't need 3 weapons. So let's just get it out of the way. Oh man, that's so annoying. Oh, and it's undead. Oh man. Okay, so it doesn't. At least it's defeated, but now I have to fight the zombie minion henchman, huh? Right, I forgot about that. I should have used the dog slicer on this. Well, I got a reroll on this long spear, so even if it fails, I can always discard it to roll again. And now, I suppose I'm going to recharge away my armor, but I'm going to hang on to the Blessing of Calistria because that's going to be important for closing Amiri's location. Alright, Harsk is here. Warhammer +2 is pretty good. It's pretty darn good. But, it's going to be tough to get. Lemesh Stew, I don't think anyone has one of those. Gorham's the wrong strength. Well, there's a strength card here. I could consider this. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be d6 plus 3... 2d6 plus 3, I'd still have to roll a 6 on 2d6. I gotta think about this. I mean, how comfy do I think I'm doing that I can spend the time, basically spend a blessing to maybe get a Warhammer +2. And a strength spell. Alright, let's do it. We're gonna do it. So, she will contribute that and the blessing. And I fail. I wasn't gonna spend 2 blessings on it. 1 blessing seemed like it was worth the risk. So hopefully I don't lose because I don't have a blessing or a strength spell. Okay, that I can recharge a card to pick it up and keep exploring. So I want to try to maybe not be quite so spendthrift with Harsk's arrows in the meantime. Alright, we got a little bit of story going on there at the mill. Now, does Amiri have any slashing weapons? Neither of these is slashing. That's awesome. Oh, this is not even Amiri. This is Sela, right. Okay, so let's go ahead and scout. It's a Carrion Storm. Is Amiri going to be able to handle this? Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay, so Sela can now go back to where she was. Make some progress on Habe's Sanatorium. It'd be cool if Habe was always here as like an extra special rule. Oh yeah, it's good that Amiri pulled her away for some scouting because this guy was here, which wasn't going to be scoutable. I guess I'll take a stab at it with the weapon. I need to make a wisdom check to do it. I'll flip a card, see if I can pull it off. Obviously, this is a long shot. A little bit better than a coin flip. Oh, snibbity snap. All right, well, I guess we'll just pop this Blessing of Gorham. And do I fire an arrow? No, 93% is good enough. It's good enough. Let's kill this thing. Do I spend the blessing to go again? Well, I still have a cure spell in my deck, so yes, let's do it. Agility, that's not a bad one. I don't know if it'll fit into Ezran and Seoni's decks, but this can be used by anybody. It can go into Kira's or Sela's deck. And dexterity is nice, especially in the short term. It can help Amiri close her location. So I'm gonna flip a card to try to pick it up. I was gonna get it anyway, but I didn't know that. I don't think I need both the spike, chain, and a great club. So I'm gonna discard the great club. I think is slightly inferior mathematically. Okay, there's the cure, perfect. Alright, what is Ezrin looking at? Oh yeah, some spells. Alright, well, let's see if we can get lucky and pick one of these up. So, 66% chance? Sure. We'll go for it. Oh my god. Well, I guess I'll just spend the stage to go again. Alright, come on. 83% chance. Oh my god, I missed them both by 1. That's lovely. Well, you know what? I can't complain. Can't complain, can't complain. I've had very good luck in this entire run, so... whatever. Hopefully that's the worst of the bad luck. If that's the worst of the bad luck I'll ever have, then I'll be pretty happy. God dippity damn it! How many enchanters do you have to find? And it's always Sione specifically. Oh my god. Well, this is gonna hurt a lot. Because I don't think I actually need Stride. Because not only do I have to discard a card to do this shit, but I now have to lose another card. Motherfucker. Oh god, alright. Well, that's great. Glad that happened. There's the combat spells. Now she's down to 3 cards in her deck, so it'd be nice if she could get healed at some point. She is, about as far away from as possible as you could get from any healing. I believe she's the one who has Poog in her deck. Yeah, so she can at least get 1d4 cards back, but man, it's not a good situation. Alright, so you're fighting Carrion Storm, which is fine. A little bit tough, actually. Jeez. Okay, well, I guess that's what this Cloak of Elvenkind is for. 90% with a reroll. Yes, I'll take it. And Amiri is next to... oh, that's an undead? Seriously? Oh my god, I am just going out of my way to find all of the undead ever. Good lord, I'm only at 70%. Well, 70%, I guess we're burying this armor. But crikeys. That's so annoying, and this is making all the zombie minion henchmen harder, so I fought like 2 extra undead here. Okay, I'm gonna hang on to that blessing, I guess. We're gonna pull Sela in. Normally, you don't get to do this as much on Legendary because of the movement restrictions, but in this particular case, they happen to be next to each other. Alright, Kira, she has a cure. I'd like to cure Sione, but I think it's just a little bit impossible to do at this point. Alright, we're going to get rid of the Battle Axe. I think it's not quite as good as a Long Spear. 84% with a reroll. Oh, but Harsk is up next. He needs to recharge a card to pick up the ally, but that's fine. I hate giving away the Fox, because it could help close some locations. Yeah, maybe I should have just used her Spear's reroll ability. The problem is she's very aggressively discarded some of her other weapons, so she would be pretty much out of weapons if I did that. Okay, now I guess I'm gonna... well, actually, I should spend a blessing first, and then cast Cure, just in case. Oh my god, it's another undead. You've got to be kidding me. That is just unreal how many undead I am finding that are not the henchmen. Luckily, at least they're not getting undefeated, but still. So here's another zombie minion, up to 18. All right, I'm just going to take this. 76% chance. Yeah, barely getting it through. Man, those zombie minion henchmen are going to be wrecking ball powerhouses here. All right, let's take a stab at recharging the cure. And I guess I'm going to save this blessing because it just has a lot of value for Amiri to close her location. Oh, hey, there's the goblin thing back. Nice. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm going to recharge. Can I hold on to this fox? I don't know, but I'll try to. We'll discard this to go again. Ring of Protection is actually not a bad item, but I'm not going to spend any cards on it. Okay, so this is nice. The Ring of Protection will be good to just recharge as a sniper shot or to pick up allies in the future. So I can hang on to my fox. There's Adair, which I don't care about that much, but he does have the ability to explore the location, so that'll be nice. I'll swap the ring for an extra explore. Alright, let's scout it up here. Alright, get that half-blade out of here. And I guess there's no particular reason not to cure herself, so let's do that. She has got 7 cards in her discard, managing barely to avoid the minimum value. She has another cure in the deck, so I'm not going to flip a card here. I'll just take my coin flip. If I get it, awesome, I didn't flip a card. And if I don't get it, well, then that's fine. I have another cure. Wait, I don't have another cure. What am I talking about? Kira is the one with 2 cures. She only has 1 spell. Okay, that was a little bit of a stupid time to do a coin flip. Alright, well, we're getting down to the wire here. Portable Ram. It's not that good. It's just not that good. Okay. It's not even good in the short term because there's no barriers in here. Of course I picked this thing up. There's no reason for her to hold on to it. She does not have the ability to make use of junky cards. Oh man, that is nice. Okay, so we found the villain, which is really, really good. I mean, it wouldn't have been the end of the world if she had fought the villain, but it's definitely better to have him scouted. There's no question about that. Alright, so Ezrin is just continuing to not succeed at picking up any of these magic items that would be giving him extra explorations. We've got that fox that Harsk is saving, so I'll just use the sage for extra explores. Sneak, eh? Well, no point in evading this. I guess I'm just gonna discard a card. I've got a burbadillion combat spells. I don't think I need invisibility. Actually, I do. I'm gonna use invisibility, because invisibility can be used to evade one of the zombie henchmen that you fight if you have to fight like an extra one. And that's super useful because then not only do you not have to bother trying to make the check, that was really close, but on top of that, you don't increase the difficulty of all subsequent henchmen. Hey, there's Augury. Nice. All right, let's get that into my hand. Thank you very much, and you're welcome. So I guess I'll cast Augury. There are still 2 monsters in here. No, there's 1 monster. Is it worth casting Augury? It's just not actually worth it. It's way better to go here and cast Augury where there's 4 monsters out of 11 than 1 monster out of 6. So, well, no, it's 2 out of 6 or 5 out of 11. Yeah, it's still definitely better to use it in a better spot. So I'm going to just pass right now. And sure, I'll stride over. Why not? Let's stride over here. And then I can start my next turn, cast Augury here, and then move back over to the Thessalonian dungeon, which is where I'm actually interested in making progress. Always flipping up my allies. Always, always, always. Well, his deck is nice and small now, so I might get that stride back in time for it to be useful, but he's actually close to dead. She's close to dead. Oh, brother. All right, well, let's explore. There's a ghost. Oh, it's undead. Oh, good. Good, good. Good, 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 good. Lovely. All right, someone's got a Blessing of Gorum, don't they? Oh, Orb of Fire, this is, I think, the right time for that. 82%, but it's, no, 82% is 82%. There's no talking my way around it. I guess I've already used the Blessing of Gorum for something. Yeah, Sela, I guess, used it on her own combat check. Okay, so we're gonna recharge that, and then have to fight the zombie minion henchman. I really wish that I had the invisibility spell on Seoni. 77, it just doesn't quite cut it. You've already used your orb. I guess we'll do a Blessing of Pharasma for a couple more d10s and call it a day. Man, it's really kind of ridiculous. I don't know if there's like secret coding behind the scenes to make there be more undead than usual, but crikey. Alright, this is actually pretty nice. Got some nice stuff here. It's actually kind of tougher to pick this up. And it's, well, it's about as good as the Orb of Fire, I guess. It's kind of sad that the Orb of Fire is a level, like, basic item that's as good as a level 2, but whatever. Yeah, I suppose I can use the Incanter to help pick it up, and then a Mako is a good pickup. I can just use her right away to get, like, a blessing back or something and explore with it again or just use it again. So, yeah, that's fine. I don't know if I'll be able to pick them up because they are actually kind of difficult checks, but I will give it my best. Okay, so I didn't spend any blessings to explore because we found the villain, which helps with our time, and she's just really low on cards. Okay, Amiri is just, okay, that's what she's got. Attic Whisperer. It's undead. You've got to be kidding me. Mental damage, which may not be reduced. Each character must discard a blessing as the damage, if any. Oh, interesting. So I can either discard that blessing to make sure I make this, but then and then I just don't discard any other cards, or I can just take a 50-50 flip and then discard it. Well, if I'm losing it either way, I might as well take a 50-50 flip of not needing to do it. Anybody got a Charisma blessing that recharges right now? No. Yep, it's coin flip time. Nailed it. Alright, well, I guess I lose my blessing, which is a shame. Luckily, the combat check's not that bad. 75% with a reroll. Now, I'll use my tiger here. That actually made the difference. Glad I used the tiger. Oh, right, it's you. God, I always forget about this. This is kind of a problem. This is definitely a serious-ass problem here. 45% is not that great. What is this? Range, stealth, or craft? Okay. I guess we'll cast Strength. 70% with the reroll. I could use Poog. Yeah, I'm going to recharge Poog. She'll get Poog back. And then she can use him then for healing. Christ, on a crackerjack. This is ridiculous how many undead monsters I found in these locations. Alright, I'm going to pull Sela away from her place because she scouted the villain. It's going to be a little tricky. Someone is going to have to make their way back there to fight the villain at some point, but I think that's fine. And we just need to close... Actually, I've only closed one location in half of the scenario time. Good lord! That's so bad. How is it? Well, that's just, I guess, unlucky sometimes that the henchmen are at the bottom. Sometimes they're all on the top, and sometimes they're all near the bottom. And I guess this time they're like all in the second half. Good lord. Well, yeah, I need to close at least one more location. And then this place is still a problem. Yeah, well, not much I can do here. I guess Kira might as well just keep on keeping on. There's a zombie minion, and now it's nice and difficult. Alright, well, I guess I'll use the spear. And thankfully she... Oh, God, I hate to do this. I hate to get rid of the fox, because the fox could help me close the location. Yeah, I'm going to recharge away my crossbow. It's a little bit risky, but that's what I'm going to do. And now I still gotta contribute a little bit. I guess this is Amiri's time to spend a blessing. 95 with a reroll, that should be fine. Motherfucker. Alright, well, here's that reroll. Okay, good thing that happened. And she still has another weapon. Oh my god, please don't do this to me. I always forget about this. Okay, good. I didn't get my 1 in 6 chance of having to go through that all again. Oh yeah, right. Oh my god, I forgot. So now there's another one. Oh, that's just great. Do I care? Well, I don't have any armor, so if I don't make this, then I am just boned. So yes, we're discarding this blessing. And, okay, I guess you're going to spend one of your blessings here. Alright, there's no reroll on this. Luckily, I managed to make it. Close the location, and... Yeah, I can't just... Oh, wait, I can use a fox. Okay, let's... No, I want to save the fox. I want to recharge the fox to pick up the ally automatically and get an extra explore. Although if I'm spending a blessing... No, that was stupid. I probably should just recharge the fox there. God darn it, that's so annoying. Alright, well, anyway, we closed another location, so in theory, I could potentially now go corner the villain. Let's pause and take a look at the map. So Harsk can easily close the village house, but anybody can close the village house pretty easily. I guess the main issue with my temp closing plan is that there's 3 locations over here. One of them's intelligence or arcane, one of them intelligence and knowledge, and one of them's charisma or diplomacy. And Harsk is good at exactly none of those. I mean, he's got a D4 for charisma, so he'd probably do this here with his D6 for intelligence. So, the problem with having Harsk go over to close the mill is that if he does that, then no one is over here to close these locations. And we're kind of running out of time, so people can't actually move around that much, even with striding. So... I guess the best thing is for Ezrin to cast Augury here and find out what's going on at that location. Why does it say examine? Oh, that's... okay. This place is not examine, it's just a graphical thing. Okay, so we're going to cast Augury. And there is a zombie minion there. Okay, that's interesting. So does that change my plans? Well, if we assume that Ezrin can defeat the zombie minion... it's kind of annoying because... No, he's got invisibility for the extra one. Okay, perfect. So he's going to kill this, invisibility to evade the other one, and then close this location. Let's assume, generously. If not, then I'm just totally screwed. But let's assume that is, in fact, a thing that he is capable of doing. Oh, yeah, I got my amulet of life! Nice! Oh, yes. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to save the Incanter to help defeat that thing, even though it means I might lose Augury. Luckily, I don't lose the Augury. Okay. So, assuming he does that, what happens then is that Ezrin can then go over here and get ready to close the Thessalonian dungeon, which means that Harsk can go over here and close the mill, and Kira can go over and close the village house. So that's sort of what we can do then. And then Sela and Amiri can both travel to Habe's Sanatorium to fight the villain, which is good because in case one of them blows their load, so to speak, the other one can, take the combat check afterwards, if that, one or two is rolled. On top of that, they both have armor, so even though it sucks that they both have to face a zombie minion henchman, they do both have armor. Oh my god, did Amiri use all of her armor? Amiri used all of her armor. Shit. So Amiri's gonna have to fight a ridiculously hard zombie minion henchman before the fight. Unless Sela can pass her in armor. Sela's got one armor left. Oh, and the other one's in her discard. Oh my god, I never thought I'd find myself wanting armor, but it is kind of handy when you can use it to ignore fights. Okay, Kira has an armor. Now I'm starting to think about having to use Stride. So Sione, at the end of her turn... Where's her Stride? Oh my god, she used the Stride to fight a thing. Okay, Ezrin has Stride somewhere in there. He might get it. I don't think I can count on it, though. Okay, so I can't count on Stride. What that means is that perhaps Amiri at the end of her turn can pull Kira here. But if Amiri pulls Kira, then Kira's not able to close the location. If Amiri moves here and pulls Kira over... Well, what I could do is I could... Okay, hang on. Amiri's going to go next. So what if Amiri went here and pulled Kira? Then Kira would have to go back, and then she would only get here in 2 turns. Okay, so does Kira have that much time? Let's see, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and she moves here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she moves there, but then, oh yeah, we have a problem, because she's last in the lineup, so then Amiri and Sela have already gone. Okay, so that's not going to work. What about the other way? What if Amiri on her turn goes here, Kira on her turn gives Amiri the armor, and... Yeah, and then plants herself at the village house. Then... Amiri, okay, everybody basically has 2 turns left. So if Amiri spends one of her turns going here and sitting there, then on her second turn she can get here by ending her turn at the mill and moving here at the end. But then she's later in the turn order, so Sela would have already gone. Okay, so I guess what's going to happen is Amiri's going to have to straight up kill one of the zombie minion henchmen, or Sela's going to have to go solo Kaisarlu and hope that she's picked up her armor before that fight. Oh man, this is tricky. Even with all the even with having scouted the villain and having the opportunity to set everything up, it's still a little bit on the tricky side. I guess I just don't see a way for Kira to pass Amiri her armor. The turn order here does not work out, and I really shouldn't have had Amiri. I didn't think about the fact that the armor could be used to ignore the zombie minion henchmen in the fight against the villain. I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal because I didn't think I'd find like 10 fucking undead monsters throughout the course of the scenario, and have those like zombie minion henchmen with a difficulty of like in the 20s, which is harder than the villain himself at this point. Damn. All right, Amiri's gonna have to kill that henchman. Kira's gonna close the village house. That means Harsk. What's he doing? Well, he could go fight the henchman, but there's no reason to struggle like that. Does Harsk have any armor? No, he's just got the fox. Alright, I guess there's nothing for Harsk to do. I guess he might as well, roll to pick up a dare? I don't know, there's no reason to recharge the fox. The fox is actually useful for closing locations. Yeah, so I guess Harsk is just done. Siren. Okay, nobody wants to deal with that, that's for sure, so... Okay, Potion of Glibness, that's interesting. So now Harsk can actually make a diplomacy check. But... Oh god, hang on. But the problem is that I don't think he's going to have enough time to get over there. Alright, Acolyte goes away. Is there any point to exploring this location as Sela? I'm actually not sure that there's any point to just blind exploring. What if she finds a henchman? It could be Habe, in which case the thing wouldn't even be defeated. It could be a zombie minion, in which case things are even worse. There's no point. She's just going to move here. I'm going to hang on to agility, because that will help somebody close the mill. Wait, who's closing the mill? Oh, wait a minute. Did I just fuck something up? Oh my god. Wasn't Harsk supposed to move on his... Oh god, he was. Harsk was supposed to move and close... and get over here to close the mill. Okay, so that's not happening. I guess that means that Kira is going to do what now? Well, Ezrin's going to close this on his turn and move here. Oh yeah, Kira can go close the village house. Although, maybe now, I can pull Kira over since Harsk is going to stay here. And Amiri is going to... Oh no, wait, that's pointless. There's no point having Amiri... There's no point having Kira close this because her dexterity is a d4. But maybe if Amiri is here, then Kira can just use the armor and she can face off against the villain. She's not really doing much else, so she might as well use the breastplate to block the zombie minion henchman and then just attack the villain in case Sela fails. Let's do that. Okay, so whose turn is it then? Sela? Sela's doing nothing except drawing some cards. And there's no point scouting because I already know it's the villain. There's an armor. Okay, great. So she found an armor, which is really good. Now she can block the zombie minion henchman. I guess that would have been the thing. If Sela didn't find an armor, Kira could have gone over and passed one off to her. Okay, now I'm going to generously assume that Ezrin's going to pull this off. Let's try it. Oh, good old combat 23. Nice. Well, let's use our big honkin' frost ray and an incanter for a 30% chance of success. Nice. All right, Harsk is not doing any more fighting, so he can shoot his crossbow. And there's nothing that recharges. 8, I think, is more useful to close locations, so let's go ahead and just pop a blessing here. 95% is going to have to do it. Okay, we did it. So now I'll do this, recharge my ray, defeat that guy, grab a strength, which is not relevant, but it's good to know that I have it. That can actually help in the fight against the villain. And for this guy, ignore you. That was actually really, really handy, because it would have been very... I mean, I guess I would have just had to wipe my hand otherwise. Or spend resources to defeat it that I didn't want to spend. Oh, this is an auto-succeed. Nice. Okay, that's great. So we'll just auto-succeed. Oh yeah, it's an auto-succeed because of my knowledge, baby! Scholar power! Yes, regular Ezrin would have had a 1 in 12 chance of failing that. Bitches. Okay, so I actually will discard some cards here and try to find Stride, which I don't know that I need it. I think I have a plan that doesn't require it, but since I don't need my Force Missiles or the Amulet of Life, or for that matter, the Acid Arrow, let me just make sure, do I die doing this? No, I don't die because he has a hand size of 7. And there's 6 cards left in the deck. Okay, so we're good. Yep, there's Stride. Perfect. All right, now Sione. What's she doing? I guess she'll try to pick this thing up. 70% chance is decent. I don't actually need this incanter for her, so I might as well just recharge it now and pick up this Orb of Magic. So that'll help. It'll help in the final fight. And it also lasts for the whole turn, right? Yeah, it's the whole turn, so that's cool. She does not need Acid Arrow, and she can discard it without dying, so we'll do that. Get a bunch of stuff. Strength actually is relevant, so it's kind of nice. All right, Amiri is going to hang tight, but she's going to pull Kira in. Oh, no. No, what am I talking about? Oh, yeah, no. Kira's going next. So she pulls Kira in, Kira moves here, and then Sela on her last turn. Oh, my God. I'm terrible at this game. I'm horrible at this game. Because Ezrin needs to go here, but he goes after Sela. Wait, no, it's okay, though, because then what happens is Kira moves over and she fights the villain. But the problem is... Okay, I'm an idiot. Okay, I was talking this whole time about having 2 people fight the villain, but the villain is only 1 combat check, so there's no reason to have 2 people there. There's none whatsoever. The problem is now there is no way to get Ezrin over here, because Sione has a stride. He has a stride, but you can only cast this during your turn or at the end of your turn. I needed to... Yeah. I needed Ezrin to be before Sela, but I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily correct. It could have just as easily been the other way around. But anyway, Ezrin's going to have to take a turn to move over to close the Thessalonian dungeon, which means Sela cannot fight the villain. So she is just doing nothing here. She's just getting pounded by a zombie henchman. She accomplishes nothing whatsoever by being there. She doesn't have any, like, at your location cards or anything. So, yeah, I guess what needs to happen is Amiri needs to discard... What is here? Oh, I don't know. She needs to discard the Sage and the Masterwork tools because they do nothing. She needs to pull Sela away. And it's going to have to be Kira. Wait, no, it can't be Kira who fights the villain because Kira's not even here yet. No, she has to pull Kira in. Sela's just going to get pounded for no reason by a henchman. That's what's going to happen. Sela is going to get pounded by a henchman for no reason because I just screwed this up and forgot that Ezrin had to move. And Miri got, well, I guess that's one helpful card. Oh my god. All right, so Kira... She can move there now, but there's not really much point to it. Does passing off a card make any difference? Not really. I guess she can do this and try to get a card back. Yeah, I guess it's worth it to start the turn there to try to get an extra card. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. I'm going to go ahead and use... Well, I don't want to use this ability because that requires me to lose a blessing, and she's got enough cards to survive. So what I'm going to do here is think, does this help me in the fight? The guy's not a goblin. Oh, interesting. This can actually be used as armor. Whoa. Okay, so she doesn't need the armor and the goblin golem because she's got the goblin golem. Do zombie henchmen do weird damage? I don't know. Okay, well, I guess I don't need this thing then. I don't need the thieves' tools. I do need a weapon, so I'll keep the flaming mace, obviously. We got Cure and a Blessing. All right, Harsk is now staying put to close this location, which means that I should just discard the armor, which does nothing, but I'll keep the Fox and the Blessing because they actually matter. You got a bunch of stuff that... Oh, man, none of that stuff actually helps anybody. Shit. Okay, so let's do this. And that doesn't really matter very much. And let's move away. And now to set up my hand for the final fight, let's get rid of the burglar, which does nothing, the chainmail, which does nothing, and the spiked chain, which does nothing. And okay, Ezrin now needs to move over so that he can temp close this location. Do I want to explore and try to find a spell? He does have 0 cards in his deck, so anything going wrong if I find a monster or a henchman is a problem. What I can do, I guess, is I can cast Augury to try to look for spells. The problem, though, is if I fail to recharge Augury, then I will die. But on the other hand, I've got this Incanter, so I can actually succeed. Let's do this. Let's see if we can find a spell. We got some junk. Alright, well, heat metal, it's only at your location. It's only at your location, so that's not very good. I guess agility will actually help in the short term. So we'll do that. Definitely going to recharge Augury so I don't die. And pop this Incanter. It's only a 91% success rate. Oh man, I could just randomly die here. Do I recharge the Fox so that Ezrin doesn't die? Sure. Well, what's this blessing? Oh my god. What's this blessing here? Norgurbergurg. Okay. So we'll recharge that for 98% success. So that we can barely survive. And then Stride, I guess I could have used now to try to save things, but I don't want to risk dying, so we'll just let it be. And we'll pass the turn. Oh wait, no. I still get to explore. Right, let's actually try to pick up the agility. Oh yeah, I guess I wouldn't have died. There was always this chance that I'd pick up agility to save myself. So we'll try to get agility, which is nice. I get a little bit of wiggle room. Let's get my free explore. And I don't need the augmented spellbook. See if we can get this thing with a coin flip. We can. I'm not going to keep it. It's not a very good spell. I'm not going to explore again because I don't want to fight things. And we'll just pass the turn. Do I need to stride? Would stride help anything anyway? No, everybody is where they need to be, so we're good. So that's done. Now, Sione. What is her last card? It's an Incanter. That doesn't really help. So she just does nothing. What is this? It's a Mako. I guess she can try to pick up a Mako. no reason not to try it. Bam-o! Alright, so I guess I can get back a troubadour to help close the location. Although I might as well just banish her to get a D10 directly. I can get back a blessing to help Kira in the final fight, but I already have 2 blessings, so unless the guy dodges it twice, the 3rd blessing won't make a difference. Yeah, what I guess I'll do is I'll just discard a force missile because I don't need it. Alright, Amiri is just gonna hang tight. She's got 3 cards left, none of which help close this place, so she's done. I don't need to move anybody. And now it's time for the final countdown. So Kira will try to get back a card. Yeah, no one is like swimming in blessings enough to justify spending a blessing on this, so we'll just take a coin flip, pure coin flip. Oh, fail by 1. So I lose the top card of my deck, which is a blessing. It's a shame. But let's go ahead and cast Cure, just in case for whatever reason it matters. Rolling 2s on every Cure today. Which is fine, better than rolling 1s on every Cure like I usually do, am I right? And now, I really hope to God I've actually worked this out correctly. Let's fight the villain. It'd be really hilarious if I failed because I rolled like a 1 or a 2 3 times in a row. I don't really have enough, I don't think, to beat him more than twice. Well, let's get this done. So first of all, Harsk needs to banish a card. And I guess... Oh man, it's kind of tough here. I have an extra Thieves' Tools in my stash, so I'll banish them. Ezrin, then, is another easy one. He... Actually... He fucked up. I don't have an Incanter now, and I clearly cannot take a 75% chance. So someone is going to have to... Oh, wait, Aid? Yeah, I'll use an Aid. 95%? Oh my god, 5% chance of losing outright. Sure, let's roll. Let's live on the edge, folks. Get it done. Alright, so there's my Aid. No reason to spend blessings to try to recharge it. And then Sayoni, I think, is in better shape, right? Because she has... Oh, she doesn't have a Troubadour, but she has a Meiku. So I'll just use this. 1 in 100 chance of failing on that one. She gets it. Now for this, I'm going to have Sela go first, just to randomly flip it. I can flip a card from my deck and have like a very, very low chance of getting it. And I might as well do that, like just in case I get super lucky here, then I don't need to spend any resources. Okay, I didn't get super lucky. That's fine. So now Amiri will close it. The way that we're going to do this is recharge a Troubadour, cast Agility, and did someone else? Yeah, Sela's been carefully holding on to this Agility. Oh, wow. So it didn't even matter. Those were not going to help in the final fight. So I just wasted time rolling the dice with Sela for no reason. And now Kira's kind of in an unusual position here, fighting off a zombie minion henchman. Well, I'm going to reveal this, and Harsk, I guess, has some extra cards, so I might as well fire a shot. The reason here is that maybe, like, I might not need to actually bury this breastplate. Wow, I actually made it. That was pretty cool. So now the actual combat check. All right, she cannot do Arcane, so she'll reveal this. I don't want to discard it, because then if I end up having to re-roll, then I'm screwed, because I don't have a weapon in my hand anymore. Harsk will, of course, shoot an arrow. I'm going to see if I want to spend that blessing or not yet. I might not need to. In fact, we got Strength, and that lasts the whole turn, the Strength. I mean, we're already actually at 100% with these orbs and the double Strength. So yeah, I'm just going to roll this, and then if I have to re-roll, then I will have Harsk spend that blessing. Oh, you know, I was actually kind of hoping to, because with those double Strengths and the orbs, I actually might have been okay for going kind of infinite against them. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe if you did. I apologize if you've been disappointed by the fact that I've been playing terribly, yet still succeeding at these scenarios thanks to scouting of the villain. But I will say in my defense that that's the power of scouting. You want to have scouting in your deck in your party because it gives you those chances to get lucky, either by using Augury on your spellcasters or by having Sela and Harsk, the 2 characters with built-in scouting. All right, if you want to go, feel free to go. This will take a little bit of dithering here as I collect my rewards and rebuild the deck. This will be an over hour-long video. So we're already getting another power feat. Sela, for her first power feat, chose the extra scouting, the extra scouting from Crusade. I am electing not to ever take this and just not focus on spells as much because I have 3 other spellcasters in the party. This is a good feat, but all of Sela's power feats are good and something's got to go. I'm going to go with this. In my other playthrough, I didn't max out the Inspired Grace, but I really do think it's very, very strong to get an extra +1, then a +2, then a +3 on any check that you want when you flip the card from your deck. However, now I'm going to just take an extra hand size. I think that the extra +1 can wait, and having an extra card just helps with her flexibility. For Ezreal, I'm going to split the difference a bit. I will get recovery. Maybe mechanically it's a little bit better to get a better hand size, but I do like having this extra bonus to recharging cards to make Ezreal a little bit more survivable. Sione's already maxed out her hand size for the time being, so we can either automatically recharge arcane items or we can improve her burst power. Neither of these feats is very good, and I am annoyed about having to take both of them effectively at some point, either 2 in the blast or 1 here. I'm going to take the +1 for Stormfire Blast. With it being a 2d4 instead of a 1d6, it's actually almost usable, even later on, or at least it's usable for a longer portion of the game. And I'm just really not that impressed by this thing. It looks so good, but not all magic items have the arcane trait. Obviously, some of them do, like the Sahedron medallions, but if I do get that, I'm going to get it later. Amiri's up, and she took the Move Another, which has been sort of handy, although not as handy as I thought it would be. Definitely I'm not going to take Armor Proficiency because that's totally worthless, so it's just a matter of what do I take first, the bonus +1 on my Rages or an extra hand size, and I think the extra hand size is more valuable than an extra +1 on my Rages. Kira has maxed out her hand size. Now, the main questions I have to deal with is what do I take? I have to take 2 of these 3 feats, and none of them are very good. Weapon Proficiency is good if Kira is the main fighter in the party, but with 2 other weapon wielders who both have Weapon Proficiency, the Barbarian and the Paladin, it's not that hard to make sure that Kira just always gets the best weapons that don't require proficiency. At the same time, these other things are not that good. +1 against checks versus the undead is whatever, and then +1 when healing a card is also whatever because I don't want to use that in a 6-player party like ever. So it's kind of annoying, and neither of these is all that good. I guess we'll take the enemy lore undead because there are some more undead in Adventure Deck too, and I'll just pass on the heal. We'll take the weapon proficiency later. Just in case I am swimming in weapons, I can give Kira some better ones. Now, Harsk, last time we improved his sniping. Harsk is an easy one because this power feat totally sucks. Examining the bottom card is... I mean, it's whatever, but it's kind of a weird situation where you already have scouted the existing card and only then you get to scout the bottom. There is a roll card, which allows him to upgrade this further so that when he uses scouting, he looks at both the top and the bottom. So if the villain's at the bottom of a deck or the henchman's at the bottom of a deck, you get a chance to find that out. And that's nice, certainly, but it's not worth taking that roll card because it's just not a very good roll card. I don't want to do the whole thing with animals and recharging them to explore again. I'd rather just be able to recharge my weapons when I discard them. So since I'm never taking this, it's just a matter of hand size or an extra +1 on sniping shots. We'll go ahead for the hand size here so that he has more sniper shots to fire. All right, so that is that. Now let's take a look at our decks. So agility is an interesting one. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. Here we have the Ram, which is obviously junk, and the Burglar, which is junk. Ezreal, again, I don't know if I'm going to take agility. Heat Metal is just totally crappy. So that's an easy one to get rid of, but we'll have to think about these agilities. In fact, let's think about it right now. I kind of liked invisibility there. I have 5 combat spells and invisibility. Yeah, we can make room. We can make room for a utility spell there. She will get rid of... Oh, yeah, that's tough. What do you get rid of? Okay, somebody... I mean, it's tough. Not enough items. Well, we'll see. So that's obviously an easy thing to get rid of. I could have Amiri take the Orb of Magic. The problem is that... Oh, no, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Amiri's Masterwork Tools and... Why did I think that was going to solve any of my problems? Oh yeah, I'll take the Spyglass, give Amiri another Spyglass, and have Sione take the Orb of Magic. There we go. This Orb of Magic isn't even that good, but what I like about having it in my party right now is that in the event that we encounter one of those enemies that requires the magic trait, it's still possible that Amiri, Sela, or Harsk won't have a magic weapon on hand, and this gives a little bit of extra leeway. I'll probably pitch this later, though, for something else, but right now there's just nothing very good out here. She needs another blessing, so I guess I'm going to have to take an unclaimed one. And I'm going to take this Etchakek so I don't feel like I'm cheating. Oh, no, wait, no need. Put that back in the... Oh, no, are you serious? I want to take it back. No, I don't want to do it. Oh, God, because she has an extra blessing. Right. Well, shiddlesticks. Oh, I guess I can do this. That kind of works. Okay. Standard bearer is not good. All right, let's do a view all, see what's going on. Okay, so Codex maybe later. Agility, I've already got one. Invisibility, I've already got one. Okay, we're fine. Now let's banish the stuff that's just totally junky. I guess I'll hang on to this stuff in case I want it later. And if I end up filling up my stash, I can always throw the stuff away later. It's not a big deal. Okay, so that'll do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you again soon.